I know you've had moments in your life where no matter how hard you try, nothing feels like it's working. You start comparing yourself to everybody else and you quickly realize that, like, I'm not good enough. You realize that you're falling behind because all of your friends are either graduating or they're getting better jobs or they're buying better cars or they're dating hotter girls. And yet you're still struggling with things that are supposed to be easy. And eventually you get that feeling, that thought of like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to do this shit anymore. I quit. And I've said that to myself many fucking times. And at the start, it feels cathartic to say, because as soon as you relinquish control, as soon as you tell yourself that you're going to quit, you don't have to try anymore. You let go of that guilt of trying to pursue something greater. But the thing is that you don't actually let go of that guilt. When you're lying in bed at night, like if you're genuinely honest with yourself, if you're lying in bed at night, like, you're still going to struggle with the fact that you know you're wasting your potential, and that fucking eats at you. And the thing is, I used to think that something was wrong with me because I had this idea in my head. I used to think that like other people didn't go through this, that they didn't have these kind of beliefs, or like it was easier for other people for some reason. And that's not true. The only problem that we face when we come across this moment when you feel like you're not good enough is that your ego and the reality clash. You see, I used to expect myself to be able to achieve all of my goals, and whenever I would come across something like an obstacle that I couldn't get past, I always thought that I was like entitled to achieving this goal. And when I couldn't achieve it, reality fucking humbled me really quickly. And the first time you get humbled by reality, the first time that you realize like, wow, I can't do this thing, but I'm me. Like, how the fuck can I not achieve this? Like, what's going on? That hurts. And a lot of people can't take that. A lot of people start distracting themselves. Instead of pushing through the pain, instead of trying to figure something out, they distract themselves and they drown their brain in bullshit so they don't have to think about the fact that they aren't good enough. When I first started making money, I was running video game servers and things were going pretty well for me. Every single month, we were like upping our player counts, we were building momentum, and I was pretty happy. But of course, other people were doing the same thing. There were a bunch of competitors, and I wasn't the only person in this field. So as time went on, I started accidentally making some bad decisions, taking the servers down, like doing all these changes and like fucking about, while everybody else wasn't. And so there came a time, a few months after, like, I was putting in so much effort trying to make these changes, thinking I'm doing the right thing. And when I announced all the changes that I was going to make, I announced all this effort that I was putting in and told everybody, like, okay guys, like, we're releasing this on this day, and this is going to be fucking epic. I've put in so much time into this. Where I'd usually get hundreds of replies and people asking about the event, asking about all these things, I maybe got like 25 people. And you might think like, oh, 25 people, that's still quite a lot, right? But in a Discord of 1,000 people, only 25 gave a fuck. And I quickly realized, like, I just put in all that work. I put in my whole fucking heart and soul into this thing that I've been building. And for what? Like, no one cares. And so I made the decision of like, well, fuck this. If the competitors are so much better, if everybody's going to their server, like, fuck this. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't know how to fucking beat them. So they can have it. I quit. Fuck this. For the past year that I've been running this thing, everything was going so swimmingly. We were always in the up and up. Things were always in this trajectory of going up. But as soon as I reached this like massive fucking roadblock, I realized that I wasn't good enough to get past it. I'm not good enough to make this server, to make these like networks worthy. And so my ego of being this person who's like on this up and up, this person who can always succeed, this person who is like entitled to being better, it collided with the reality that like, you're just not good enough. You don't know what to do next. And I fell into a massive fucking rut. I've told this story a bunch of times, but from gooning to just going back to video games, playing GTA Online, because like I say going back to video games, this was a video game server hosting network, but I was trying like my best just to stay working on it and not like be involved in the games, right? So after this happened, I fell into a massive rut, scrolling every fucking day, like sleeping till like 10 a.m., waking up, just playing video games all day. I still go to the gym because like that was like the one thing that I could ground myself in. I'm really glad I did. But still, like going to bed at 3 a.m. again, like fucking around, all this shit. And really, it was just this like depression of like, I don't know what to do next. Like, I just don't understand why this happened, and I have no idea what to do next. The worst part about all of that wasn't the fact that I lost my business or that I lost a bunch of money or that I lost like years of hard work. It was the fact that I now believed that I'm not good enough. I now had this belief installed into me of like, I'm not a good person. I'm not good enough as me. And for whatever reason, I believed that I couldn't change. I believed that I was like stuck as this person who's just not good enough. Now back then, I didn't really like break down this belief. I didn't really know what it meant, but I know what it felt like. And so I had this feeling of like depression and hopelessness, and I couldn't like, there was nothing I could do about it. And so it was only until recently where I figured out, I was like analyzing my life and trying to figure out like, okay, why did I do these things when I was younger? And I came to this conclusion of, whenever I said I'm not good enough and I quit something and I just said like, fuck this, I'm not good enough, I don't want to try. All I was really saying was, I don't know what to do, and so I can't be fucked trying to figure it out. And when I said that, I started realizing like, yeah, every time that I've given up, it wasn't because I was weak or I was like undisciplined or I didn't want to do it. It just came down to the fact that I didn't know what to do next. But when you're in this mindset of like, I'm not good enough, you can always just quit. And it feels so logical. It feels like the right thing to do is just quit, to say, fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore. Because it's relief. It means that you don't have to guess, you don't have to figure out what to do next. It just means that you're okay with not failing anymore. And it's kind of stupid. Because in the short term, like, sure, like today, if you quit, tomorrow you'll feel okay because you don't have to do anything. Like, if you've ever been in a situation where you've quit something and you don't know what to do next, like you're gonna spend fucking months of your life wasting your potential and knowing that you're wasting your potential. It's like, if you have an ego that used to be really high, that you used to believe that you were this person who's meant to achieve all these things, if you had some sort of an ambition, it's going to eat at you and it's just going to make you feel even worse. And if you don't do anything about it, you're going to go down this hole of numbing your brain, thinking about thoughts that aren't going to move you forward, but feel good in the moment, even fucking more. And so it's this fucking negative spiral that so many people fall down that's so hard to break, that you have to break. There's only one way out. And so for me, when I was in my rut, I didn't realize that I was in this negative spiral. I was just in it, and I was so consumed by trying to distract my brain away from feeling like shit. And so I didn't know what to do. And I can't lie, I got fucking lucky by this. But I randomly stumbled across a YouTube video which basically outlined how to start an AI agency, an AI automation agency, right? And looking back on it, it wasn't the fact that this AI agency thing was like my saving grace. What really happened in those steps was that I got more information about potential paths that I could go down. I got an idea of what to do next. And that enthusiasm started to click in my head of like, this seems pretty easy. This seems like I could make it work. This seems like I'd be good enough to do it. And the thing is, that's all it took to start building momentum. All I needed was more information about a potential path. Just one idea that could potentially work, and a little bit of enthusiasm just to build momentum up and go a little bit faster. When you're in a rut, when your ego has just been destroyed and you feel like you're not good enough, when you feel like you don't know what to do next, all you need is a potential path, an idea of what you could potentially do. And so looking back on this now, like imagine that you're going on a hike, right? And you're trying to get to the top of a mountain. If you come across like a really steep part or like a bunch of like imagine you're going up a mountain and there's like a really steep part that you don't know how to climb. You're not good enough to climb this because you don't know what to do in order to go up this fucking mountain, right? Whether you need like an ice pick or maybe you need to like position your hands weirdly, but you just don't know. And so you turn back and you go back down the mountain. And you think like, okay, fuck this, I don't know how to go up the mountain, so I quit. But instead, if you ask yourself like, is this genuinely my only option? Is this cliff the only way that I can, is this the only path that I can take? Or is there potentially something else that might be able to help me as well? Like, is there something so small that if I just followed it for a little bit, maybe I'd figure out a different path? Like, maybe you don't have to climb this fucking, like, very steep hill or very steep cliff. Maybe you can just go around the mountain, and sure, it might take you like 3 fucking years longer, but it's still a path that moves you forward, rather than staying stuck on this problem that you don't know how to fucking climb. And so all it comes down to is like, what's the minimum I can do to not quit? What's the minimum I can do to stay in the game, to keep moving forward, to stay on any fucking path? Because as long as you're on a path, you're going to discover more paths and you're going to get more information, more experience, develop your skills, and have more knowledge of what the fuck is actually out there. If you quit and you go back down the mountain, there's nothing there for you. You've been at the bottom already. You know there's fuck all there. And so the only thing that will help you is movement. Clarity comes from movement, not from going back down the mountain and fucking thinking. Like telling yourself that you're resting, telling yourself that you're recovering, telling yourself that you're planning the next fucking journey. Because you know that cliff is still out there. And you know that even if you take the same fucking path up the mountain, you won't be able to get past this cliff. So search for a different answer, search for a different path, search for something else. Any tiny little movement that you can make that is just enough to tell yourself that you're not going to quit, you're going to keep moving forward and keep that momentum going. Because before you know it, you're going to find another path, you're going to find something else to do. If you manage to stay on this path and if you manage to like keep moving forward, there are still going to be times where you feel like you're not good enough, like you feel like there's something that you don't know what to do next in. But as long as you have this idea of like anything, just find something so you don't quit. Just don't quit. Just keep moving forward. You're going to start to develop this skill around perseverance. And all this really comes down to is figuring out your next step, getting better and figuring out what else you can do. And I feel like the number one thing that's helped me like stay out of a rut the most has always been this idea that whenever things get bad or whenever I come across a problem I don't know how to solve, I will always still do the bare minimum just to make sure I'm not like fully in a rut. Because the worst thing you can do is just fall down this massive fucking spiral, rot your brain away, destroy your mental clarity, and then have to rebuild everything again. Always hang on to this little idea of like anything just to keep moving forward. Hopefully from now on, whenever you fall down into a rut, you can reinstate this idea of like, it doesn't matter whether I'm good enough or not. Like you, maybe statistically you are good enough or maybe statistically you aren't. But the more important thing is that you don't know what to do next and you're gonna fucking figure it out. There's always something, some sort of a direction that you can move in. And when I say like, oh, I don't know what to do next, like realistically, any fucking goal that you have, you generally know like even the like 0.1% improvement that you can make. Like whether it's going to the gym and you're like plateauing in the gym and you don't know what to, like, let's say you reached 100 kilo bench press and you just can't do anything to get to 101 kilo. Well, what, do you fucking quit the gym? Like, you don't quit the gym, do you? You just either bench more, or train your chest more, or train your triceps, or train your core stability, or look fucking YouTube. Like, there's always something you can do. And so instead of like quitting and saying you're not good enough, always find that one little thing that you can do to keep moving forward and do it. Many times in my life, I've benefited a lot from being reminded more than I needed to be taught. And what that really means is just like, I need more reminders more than new lessons. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably quite similar to me. You probably just need more reminders than like new fucking lessons. And so if you're tired of not knowing what you need to do next, not knowing which path to take, not being able to stay accountable with yourself, then join the Discord and I will personally help you get on the right track, stay on the right track, and never fall into a rut again. Just like I've done for myself and the rest of the boys. So join that if you think it will be helpful for you. Or you can keep scrolling like a good little NPC.